Good morning, guys. How we doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's get all these streams set up. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, awesome. We're all set there. Good morning, guys. All right, let's get right into the stream for today. Good morning, Mike. How you doing? Good morning, Rebo. Rolo, how you doing? Recordings are all set, wired, awesome. All right. Another previous day in London Gap. That should get filled pretty immediately into open today. Not sure how we're going to go about playing this one, but probably the same exact play as yesterday morning, where we won't get a gap fill. We do have FOMC later today, so that might prevent us from doing this until 2 o'clock. For right now, though, we can be expecting price to continue down to that previous day in London gap fill. So it might end up being the same type of play as it was yesterday. What's going on, Bob? Good morning. Rolo, good morning. Might be the same type of play as it was yesterday. Sorry, I'm trying to get the recording figured out again for the stream, but it doesn't want to record. All right. We'll worry about that another time. So our gap fill report that we'll take a look at for today, same as always. We are currently gapped 0.71%. So we are looking at Q 71%, third bracket. We again have about a 50-50 chance of filling the gap up. I would like to see the same thing that we had yesterday play out, where we go down, and this is back-to-back days of having that previous day in London gap. Right, we had that London gap and that previous day's high, and then we have our London low formed yesterday right there, and we almost immediately on that first opening candle, we even go down to the 5 minute for this. You can see how valid that level was. Opened, pushed right down to it the first 10 minutes, closed over previous day's high, and then we just had a continuation up. So this also lines up with the outside day stat. And we're taking a look at, I'm actually going to bookmark this one because we've been using it for a couple of days now. Bookmarked. This one has a 65% chance we get a reversal, and that's calling for just previous day's high, which is all the way up at 634.38. That's all we have to go and hit. Real time or regular trading hours, that would say that we go all the way down to 632. I don't think that's as likely. I like using it with pre-market levels and after-hour levels, and it's worked pretty well for that. It may just be measuring the regular trading hours. So something to note there. For SPY, pretty much the same thing. No gap on that previous day in London gap. A little less volatile there. So that's something that we could expect. We do, again, have FOMC at 2 today, 2 and 2:30. Gold had another pretty nasty continuation yesterday, $4 move up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then a $4 candle to end off the day right at 3:45, 4 o'clock. And then we've kind of done nothing since. So we actually won't be ended up trading the Lucid accounts today because I managed to catch some of that move last night. A little teeny tiny bit of it down here. Should have held it, but oh well. And then for MNQ, tried capitalizing on a continuation on this as well from overnight and just didn't end up holding it. So we will log out here. I'll go into the trade of 8 for Tradeify. We'll trade those as we have been. We are 1,500 away from passing him, I believe. A little under 1,500 away from passing him. So this will be probably another 2 to 4 trading days at the minimum. For FOMC days, I typically stay away from the market for a pretty good amount of time just because FOMC is a little rough for setups, especially when we have a rate decision. If we don't have a rate decision and it's typically just FOMC read, that one's not too bad. But for today, it's going to be a little difficult. It certainly is measuring regular trading hours because it's from session high to session open. Session close to session open, that could count as a gap. So that outside bar stat would actually be targeting down to 632 then. I'm just going to be looking for this previous day in London gap because these ones are a lot more valid than the 65%. Not saying the 65% isn't bad, but I'd rather see this fill down. And yeah, that will be a pretty quick one. That sums up what we're looking for. We almost caught some of that move yesterday. Sold it at 26,156, so missed another 150 points. Realistically, I just had to hold it for another maybe 3 minutes. I pushed to 208, but is what it is. Not too much to look at for gold. I leave the grid lines on gold for Trade of 8 just so I know that I'm on gold because the watermarks look rough. For I actually wanted to bring this up. There we go. I remembered it now. So for the average moves, average days ranges, and this goes along with what the tweet I was posting about yesterday. Volume and range by weekday, this report. This one shows us what the average volume is. That we usually have less volume at the beginning of the week, more volume to end the week. Average range also larger to end the week. If we go over to MNQ, and this just emphasizes why you guys should be trading micros. If we go over to MNQ, switched it to the dollar amount, and we can even go to a 3-year time frame, 5-year time frame, just to get a little bit more data. Once it loads here, just a minute. So this is telling us that our average move on pretty much any given weekday is about 200 points. I know it says dollar, but that's because it's measuring how many points MNQ moves per day, which is 200 points to 300 points on average. We're looking at 226, 243, 274, 271, 263. Don't really concern yourself with the volume on this. Just look at the average range here. That is telling us that if we manage to catch even 50% of the range each day, just 50% of it, we would be able to capitalize on $200 on any average day, $200 with one micro. If it's a higher than average or lower than average day, it still works out over the long term. This is measured over the past 3 years. Over the past 5 years, it wasn't very much different. But again, this is just showing that you do not need to go into trades with excess size. And more often than not, those trades end up kind of screwing you over for the sizing that you're going in. So if we go over to the risk calculator, if you're trading a 50K funded account, then you're risking, let's say you risk 25 points per trade with one mini. 25 points, one mini, that's $500. Your likelihood to go and blow your account it's just based off 4 consecutive losing trades. That's it. 100% chance at a 40% win rate, 100% chance at a 50% win rate, 92% chance at a 60% win rate, and 55 at a 70% win rate. And this is while risking 500 per trade because you're a little risky with the 50Ks. Even with the evals too, you might even risk a little bit more. With the micros, we're doing 25K accounts, so we have $1,000 in drawdown for most of them. I usually risk about $40 per trade for one micro. Obviously, we have the IB where we might risk a little more. So let's say we go up to $100 risk because it's a 50-point IB, or in some cases, we even go up to 70 or 80 points. So it's $160 that we risk. That's still over leveraging a little bit, but we need 6 losing trades in a row. For the trades that I have during Asia session, I usually risk about $50 per trade. So 20 points, 25 points on MNQ, or 5 points on gold. And you can see, even with a 40% win rate, it's a 0% chance that you hit 20 straight losing trades in a row. So it just emphasizes why you want to be looking into trading micros. There's no reason for you to go up in size, especially with most of the prop firms out there. They cap your payout at $1,500, $2,000, $5,000 if you're trading on top set, but you have to make $10,000. So you're really capped at, I don't know, $2,500 in profit per account. $5,000 profit per account, sorry. So if you're trading excess size, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage to start. Most people that I see, they end up risking 25 points, 35 points, whatever it might be. 4 losing trades, way too little for you to have consecutive losses in a row. So just make sure that you guys trade responsibly, size down with the accounts. There's no reason to go in too heavy. And you can do a lot of work with micros as well. especially with the state that the market's in. We're making 200 point, 300 point moves recently anyway, because we've finally broken out of this trend line. And this is a confirmed break to the upside. Now we have that fake out to the downside. Based on what the TA is showing, I bet we have a pretty nasty continuation up with FOMC today. It's more so based off what Powell is going to come out and say. Good morning, Mark. What's going on? Trade of 8 prop firm is down. Thank you. Thank you for that, Wyatt. It's more so based on what Powell says today. So we're not really concerned with the 2 p.m. read. We are going to be looking at 2:30. What does Powell say? What does Powell indicate for March rate cuts? Are we going to anticipate a rate cut in March? Are we going to anticipate a rate cut in June? That's what's going to push us for the next 2 months, 3 months. Nothing to do with what the actual report is today. Everyone's expecting it to come in line, so it's probably going to come in line. Slowly closing that gap right now. Also kind of doing the same thing on gold. It's ultimately going sideways, so not anything there. Trade bait's working now. Awesome, thank you. Okay, all good there. Trade is in and out for me right now. It was having a lot of difficulty last night. I don't know how many of you may have been trading, hopefully responsibly last night, especially on gold. I had an entry, I think it was pretty much right after Asia open or just before Asia open, so right before 8 or after 8, slightly after. I had a trade open that took a good 2 minutes to populate on the chart, which usually at most it's like 15 seconds, 20 seconds when you click buy bid or buy ask. Sell ask. I always click buy bid. I rarely do buy markets anymore. But I had it filled. I could see that it filled because it dipped below where my order was set. The order went off the screen and then it didn't come back for like another minute or two. Blew my 2K funded on silver last night. Sorry about that, Hot. No more silver. Silver is moving way, way too much for anyone to be trading it. I mean, there's no reason to. This one candle right here, so the sizing of this candle, 9 a.m. candle, doesn't look very big. The body of this candle alone is a $2,000 move. So that little tiny thing, 40 cents, $2,000 on one micro. What's going on, Pickus? Happy to have you back. So wick to wick on this candle, it was $1.20. That's a $6,000 move on one contract. And that's why everyone's getting caught up in on the futures market, unfortunately. So this little tiny candle is, let's say you entered right at the middle of it and it wicked both directions before making a directional move, which it obviously did. You're just guessing on that candle. And either way, the wick up or down, that's enough to blow your even 100K funded account, let alone a 50 or 25K. And that's just that candle. That's not anything to do with the move that we had from 1 all the way to 8 p.m. last night or midnight last night. and that was a 10-point move. Means that was $50,000 on one mini contract, which is a lot of money if you manage to hold it the entire time. But at the same time, you're not, with the wicks that it makes on those entries. 106, it wicked all the way down to 105.40. That's a $3,000 wick. You're probably not going to be able to be accurate enough to catch that move. So don't get caught up in people that are out there flashing those 50K, 60K profit days. Don't worry about that. Just make sure you guys are focusing on repetitive trading. Trading with confidence as opposed to shaking while you're entering a trade. It froze for a good 20 minutes this time. I honestly think it's because for Tradeovate anyway, I know they're used to the volume, but in the next month, 30 days from now, you have everyone that used Project X on Lucid, Tradeify, Alpha Futures, Top One Futures, not My Funded Futures. They were never on there. There was. Let's look actually. Project X login page. So if we go to this, these are all the accounts minus Top Step, obviously, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 different prop firms that are all going to be moving over to Tradeovate within the next 30 days. So those accounts, influx, especially with the way that silver and gold's moving, people are gambling a lot more than they have been. I think that's probably causing a little delay in servers, slight delay in servers. Happy to have you back, Pickus. So Tradeovate's not working right now. Getting a mixed read from Tradeovate. Does seem to be down on MNQ. MNQ is not moving. Stuck at 245. Man. Yeah, it's frozen right now. TradingView is a little frozen right now too. It looks like, so it might not just be Tradeovate. It might be a CME issue in whole. I see oil moving, gold moving, silver moving. Tradeovate is frozen. Frozen at two different levels on Tradeify and Apex. Interesting. How are you finding trading with Tradeovate? I actually kind of enjoy it. I know that I was just crapping on Tradeovate for the entire first 2 weeks of learning how to trade on it, but it's really not that bad. And in all honesty, the fills worlds better than Project X. Lucid, it doesn't really matter because it's a sim environment regardless. So whatever you see on the screen for your profit, that's what you're going to get filled out at. There's no slippage on Lucid. That one doesn't matter what platform you trade on. But for Apex and Tradeify, these accounts have the fills are worlds better. There's no issue with exiting a trade. There's no issue with getting in a trade. There's no velocity logic like what Project X says there is. And honestly, the best part is that it's not as easy for you to enter a trade. So you go on to Project X, you're already logged into your account as soon as you open the tab. You can trade it on mobile, you can trade it on your laptop, on your PC. You can get into a trade from having whatever, your laptop closed, your PC shut off, your iPhone locked. You can get into a trade within 30 seconds of opening your phone. A lot of stupid decisions made from having that easy of access. Tradeify, traded on Tradeovate or whatever account you want to trade on Tradeovate. Those accounts for you to get into them and log in takes probably a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on how fast of a PC you have. You can't really trade it. You can't copy trade on your phone. So there's only so much damage you can do on mobile. And I know I'm saying this as Tradeovate's down right now, but there's almost no outages compared to what Project X was doing. So Lucid and Tradeify both just sent an alert out, said trading views data is down too. So it's not just Tradeovate, guys. It's the CME outage again. Probably something to do with the snowstorm. Tradeify is down. Not Tradeify. Trading views down for trades. Tradeovate's obviously down right now as well. Lucid and Tradeify both just put out, take the morning off, folks. Let us talk to the team and sort this out. I'm sticking with my guess on NinjaTrader must be down too, because NinjaTrader and Tradeovate are the same thing, right? I'm sticking with my guess that it's from the influx of people that are moving over to Tradeovate. So there's no room for them to go and have the volume that they were used to. Project X is still a nightmare. It's a CME issue. It's not just Tradeovate. We're having issues on TradingView right now as well. And I bet if you go to CME outage, it's probably going to... Is it Cloudflare or CME? Global Command Center issues. I have to log in to make an account. It says there are currently no issues. I don't believe it. But you guys can see TradingView stuck at the same level too. So it's not just on Tradeovate. That sucks. At least you were able to get out of it. So that would be pretty painful if you just caught that entire move down right there. Yeah, it must be a delay in the feed. Tradeovate is currently down. I'll get an alert out for that. Imagine how happy Project X must be to hear this news. They're like jumping for joy. It's not me. GG, I'm saying the link trades to TradingView are also down. Ninja and Trader are the same, so they both should be down. Both Ninja and TradingView works fine, but I'm in Europe. It's pretty rare that Tradeovate goes down. Since I've been trading with them for... How long have we been with them now? Almost 4 months. Or 2 months, I mean. What am I saying? Almost 3 months. Tradeify, same thing. We are aware with issues going on with Tradeovate. Please be patient while Tradeovate works through this outage and gets things back up. Until then, until it is confirmed to be stable, we recommend on holding off on trading for now. We apologize for any inconveniences and we appreciate your patience. That's directly from Tradeovate. All right, well, we got a rejection up at London 50. What do we do? Yeah, that does suck, Steve. Sorry about that. Anyone itching their neck to get into a trade? Should I change the title of the stream? Don't tilt just off of that, Steve. $12 isn't that bad. Can't tilt if I wanted to. That's still better than nothing. Pitkus, are you still trading the IB London 50? Yes. I'll probably be watching it today. FOMC days, I'm not all that eager to get into trades anyway, so this isn't really that bad of a thing. I bet you CME is wondering why volume's so low and open. Where are all the degens? Risk-free trading. Yeah. This is the time that you guys go in with 4 minis. If you guys want to trade minis, this is the time. This is when you do it. It's the only exception. I wanted to tilt today too. They won't even let me. How dare they strip that right from me? Last night was on gold for these Apex ones. I had longs, and I sold a little bit early over here. I had a lot of stop outs. This is on the 15-minute time frame. That's why it looks like I had so many, but these weren't bad trades. They were all valid ones. They were all off of 5,200, and they kept getting stopped at the trailing stop I put up. But this just goes to show that Asia session has been worlds better. TradeBait's working for me. It's updating every like 30 seconds, but it's not moving the price. Like you can see the wick up put in place, the one that we just made 288, that wick up. Probably would have played, I guess I can say this only because TradeBait's down, but I was anticipating taking 1 micro, same exact setup as we had yesterday, rejection off London 50 and then down to that previous day in London gap, which it should fill right about now. It's got another 20 cents to go. It's not bad. What region are you coming in from, R2? Looks like people in European countries, all the people in the stream there, how many people have TradeBait working for them that are also in Europe? Kareem, no ruling on the tariffs, no. Another set of delays. Yeah, it must be a U.S. thing. 4 people that say TradeBait's moving for them, they're all from Europe or Asia. In your case, R2. I'm so happy that tongue tie is lifted. I was cursed. Could not say your name for the life of me. Gold is updating, but you have to manually shift between the charts. The price itself isn't updating, but when you refresh the chart as a whole, you can see that the bar itself is moving. But it's only on refreshing the entire chart, so it's not the ticker itself. Well, this is stupid. They're not giving me my hit today. I'm so addicted to trading. I'm going to start shaking by noon if this thing's not back up. Man. It's probably from excess volume. I'm sticking with it. I bet Top Step's lost a lot of business from that whole Project X thing. Yeah, I mean, either they lost a lot of business or they gained a lot of business because people are addicted to Project X. But Tradevate really isn't that bad of a platform. And we just had price still isn't updating here. I haven't refreshed this page yet. This is what the charts are stuck at, 26,245. But if you manually switch between the charts, it updates with the wicks. So this one's at 26,237 right now. You guys think Apex did this? Apex with their 90% off sale? Tradevate chart isn't even loading for me now. Well, it's making it worse because so many people are probably sat here at open refreshing it, waiting for it to open so they can go and full pour some trades. Oops, I didn't mean to refresh that one. Shoot. That's still stuck at 26,245. Maybe I'm the bad electron. Charting works, but can't place a trade. Yeah, sad day. Have you attempted a silver trade? I've done one. I've done one silver trade in my lifetime, and that was on Tradeify. When it was still on Project X, I did one silver contract, and it moved 20 cents to the upside in maybe like 30 seconds, and I made $1,000. And that was my first time trading silver. I had no idea it moved. I thought it was going to be like $25 a point, not per penny move. Is this Apex discount where you have to activate before the sale ends to get the discounted PA? For the most part, I think they usually stay at like $65. I wouldn't worry too much about the activation fee. It's either 65 or 85. If you guys are I get the 25K account, so it doesn't matter what the activation fee is for me. If you guys get the 50K or 100K accounts, or heaven forbid the 300K accounts, those activation fees, yes, at the end of this discounted, I think it's like 9 days. At the end of this discount, you have to have passed and funded the account. But if you were just trading like a 25K or 50K, then you're fine. You don't have anything to worry about. Is Project X working? Does anyone know? Because this would be a wild story if Project X is working and Tradeovate's down. So close, Bear. We almost got that previous day in London gap. So I got like 80% of the way there, and I would count that as a win. From London 50 down, that was a $2 drop. So it would have been like 60 points. It's about 30 points per dollar. And Qs. You want to tilt, but you can't. I'm so sorry for your loss. Project X is working fine. That's rough. They must be jumping for joy right now. There's no way they're not. Tradeovate down, Project X up. Oh, how the turntables have. I would say the draw is probably done for the downside. We did just make a new high on both SPY and Qs. So as long as we don't go and take a new low, which usually we wouldn't go and take this much of a newer low. Yesterday we obviously pivoted, but we had the draw filled as well. I think we're probably going to maintain upside today. I also think that we're going to have a pretty good FOMC. Waldite, how's the stream quality now? I rewired my PC yesterday, so it should maintain this FPS the entire time. Good. It's a shame we can't do anything. You guys have to admit it is a little funny. Tradevate hasn't had an issue for who knows how long. Now that everyone's slowly migrating off of Project X with these prop firms, Tradevate goes down. It's just slightly funny. How'd you get notifications that Tradevate was down? From all you kind people in here. Everyone in the stream that was saying it was down. I'll leave the comment up, actually. Funny how? Funny like a clown? Yeah, I guess so. Huh? What a day for it to go down to FOMC. Usually when most people do some stupid stuff. It is going on 30 minutes being down. It's impressive. Closure over. So I'd be anticipating a move higher off London 50. Now we got our move down to that previous day in London gap. Didn't fill the entire thing. We have a new IB high formed. So obviously this still has 45 minutes on it. I don't know how, but this is somehow still Bob's fault. Excuse me. Any other stats we want to look at? We can look at. I already talked about the risk calculator. This is free with edgeful, by the way, not that. You guys can customize. Like let's say you trade a 50K account and you want to use 5 micros and you want to risk 250 per micro. This is what you can go and customize what your chances of failure are. While risking 12.5% of your account, you need a 60% win rate to be able to survive a 8-trade losing streak, which will happen. Gosh, I can only imagine what their Discord chat looks like right now. It's quite funny. My TP supposedly hit, but Tradevate is stuck. So what's going to happen to my trade? Nothing until it comes back up. Tradevate is not working. Does anyone want to comment that on the stream so I can pin it? Just drop a chat that says Tradevate's not working, and I can pin it. Thank you, Steve. I don't know how I can put it in here. Bob said, yes, I do my best. I screw up the IB. Now I'm on to Tradevate. There's no stopping me. Next, I'm going to jinx the whole CME. Yeah, go do that, Bob. You're going to take out the whole CME data feed. NinjaTrader and Tradevate are the same thing. Mad Trader, if you ended up taking a loss, I can't imagine this is going to be held against you. I'm sure all these prop firms are probably going to either credit you the loss. They better not wipe my profit. They better not wipe my day. I made $5,000 last night. Whew. Yeah, don't scare me like that. Lucid said do nothing on Discord. Yeah, I can't believe you guys go, if you're not in Lucid's Discord, you go in their main chat. It's in slow mode, but there hasn't been a single chat since AJ just said, oh, never mind. He did end up freezing it. I'm an idiot. I just had to scroll up and read it. We were freezing main chat because all you were spamming the same thing. I will communicate here and keep you updated. We are aware of a global Tradevate outage happening across prop firms. Do not send support videos. We know what's happening. We don't want to look at your screen. He's hilarious. Funny guy. Oh, this is hilarious. Time to charge back Tradevate. Yeah, where do we go trade after that? Yeah, it's coming up a lot faster than Top Step ever did, but no, it's still kind of frozen. We're slowly coming back over that London 50. Price is still frozen, so the orders, but Tradevate is updating their screen now, which is kind of good. Gold's not updating, it's just MNQ. Oh, man. I'm getting a good crack out of this. My Ninja platform just came back online. The chart itself is moving, but the orders are not. Do not be confused. I'm probably. How can I join Lucid Discord? It's on their website. Just click on the Discord. I just use it for updates. I think that joining whatever prop firm you trade, the Discord that they have, even if you want to join edgeful Discord, it's best. It's the fastest way to get updates for what's going on. It's like their own personal news outlet. I'm going to make sure that I don't trade on Apex for right now. So I'm just going to X out of that. I do not want to trade while an outage may happen and end up getting my day wiped after making as much as I did last night. Nothing will work as it should once I'm on it. What the heck, Bob? I'll make sure we go down to 15. Well, while you guys are in the stream today, what we can do, just a little run through of trading on Tradevate if you guys are not used to it. I do get a lot of questions about copy trading. So to copy trade your accounts, you have to first go into the top right, application settings, go to add-ons, and scroll down, should be in the bottom left. group trade, and that's activated for free as long as you guys have a prop firm that allows it. This will always be free, and these are all the other things that you can add if you wanted to. Free indicators, advanced charting, you get volume profile, bid ask. This is the order feed. Tick stream, I don't have any of this. It makes the charts a lot messier than it needs to be. So once you have that activated, you go to the top where your accounts are. You go to manage groups, and you click the plus icon here to create a group. Name it whatever you want. And then once you have that group created, you highlight that group and you drag all of your accounts over, the ones that you want copy trade anyway, you drag all those over into the group and then save, exit. Once you do that, you click on the accounts on the top and make sure that you are highlighted on the Tradeify group or whatever group you want to be trading. That's how you go about copy trading on Project X, on Tradeify, not Project X. Did you trade gold last night? I did. I actually, so the reason that I traded gold a little more aggressive than I usually would is the move that we had into close. We had I think it was about 100 points for the last hour of market yesterday. And then we opened Asia session or Glopex. I waited for a pullback into really just a little pullback. I didn't hit 50% or anything. I just wanted a little pullback. So I guess there wasn't that valid of TA behind it. I got in at 615. I think I ended it at about 51.60, 5-point stop loss. So it didn't get stopped out. And then ended up securing 120 off that trade. The big one that I took last night was on MNQ. And that was right at Glopex open. We had that strong 40-point candle up. Saw a pretty clear bull flag. I entered at 630, entered longs, and then sold it at 26,156. So those are the two trades I took last night. Obviously, both of them I missed a massive amount of profit on. Oh. There we go. Candles are back. Missed a massive amount of profit on it, but if you constantly think about how much profit you could have made, it's going to drive you into taking more trades because you want to get the profit that you could have made, then you end up tilting. So just be content with how much you make. There's no reason for you to go and blow more or take stupid trades because you're worried about how much you could have made. Do I live trade every day? I do. It's frozen again. Yes, it's not going to be, this isn't something that's going to get fixed very, very fast. This is a massive platform. And if it's going out like this, then it's going to have probably an hour or two to get fixed. But this should be a very good practice day for you guys to not take trades. It's very difficult for a lot of people not to get into a trade. For both last night's trades, did you wait for a pullback and then continuation? Yes. Defiant, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, if you guys are watching on Twitter and you want to migrate over to YouTube, my YouTube is linked in the bento on my Twitter page. YouTube is a little, I think people enjoy it watching it a little bit more. Neither of them have ads. I don't have ads enabled on my live streams. You should get one when you join. That should be it. Both the trades last night were continuations. So I have only, and the IB trade goes along with this as well. Oh, we got price updated a little bit. Went up from 52.41. Was all the way down here to open. I have pretty much only been trading the trend. Whatever the given trend is, that's what I've been trading. So all the blowups that I've had, I'll pull it up on MGC because it's a little easier to show on here. All the account blowups that I've had have been off of me inversing the trend. Every single one of them. If you see gold moving up, especially with that move that we had into close yesterday, that 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock move, that is a 100-point move starting Glopex. That's how you should view it. So Glopex open, this isn't a different session. This isn't a different continuation. That is still within the same trading day. It's still within the same extended trading hours of that New York session. This doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to short it because it's going to stop going up. My little 2 MNQ order, 4 MNQ order, 4 micro order, whatever you're getting into, your order on a prop account is not going to persuade price to move to the downside. It's not going to stop the trend. You're not going to prevent it from moving in the direction that it wants to. So identify that price is continuing strongly in one direction and say, okay, I'm going to look for a pullback. And even if you wanted to draw the trend lines on there as well, these help quite a bit. Hindsight on this, so it's not really something that you could do real time, but this is a pullback for you. This is gifted. This is a pullback gifted to you to enter in that trend. That's exactly what I did last night. Entered longs, expecting price to continue at the very least to the high that it made at 5,190. I did the same exact thing once we broke over 5,200. And that was on, I'll pull it up on Trade of 8. This is on the 15-minute time frame. Hopefully this logs in. If it loads. So this is on the 15-minute time frame. I know there's quite a few on there, but these are all break-even stops. 5,200. That's a pullback for you to get into longs on. It's not a pullback for you to be like, oh, okay, that's the top. We're not going any higher. I'm going to short this thing, try to make a quick buck. Or even worse, what I see people do all the time is they get into a losing position, trying to short the trend. What that ends up doing is when you actually do get a pivot, you think, okay, this is finally it. I'm going to put my take profit way the hell down here, like 170-point drop on gold. No reason to be doing that. What you're better off doing is waiting for these red candles, especially with a strong trend like this, and go along with it. So 5,200 last night. We closed over it on the 15-minute time frame on both these candles. That is your entry to go further along. And that's exactly what we did. Pushed up another 110 points after that little retest. Or if you just want to view it as we pushed up 50 points, which on 1 micro for gold is still $500. And then you had a minor 10-point pullback, and then you pushed up another 40 points, and then another 10-point pullback, and then you pushed up another 50 points. That's how you go about trend trading, which a lot of people are doing wrong. What time do you use for the London IB? I don't use the London IB, Sophia. I use the London 50, and then I just use the regular IB. I don't use the London IB. So I just have the regular 9:30 to 10:30 IB. That's it. Trade of 8 still down. We're not moving yet on it. Price is still frozen, 52.56, and MNQ should still be stuck at 26.245. And then an update from Webull as well. Futures intraday margin will temporarily be increased today from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in anticipation of the upcoming Federal Reserve announcement. Good morning. I understand you're utilizing edgeful stats indicators being live on their channel. Just curious if you use the fractal modal indicator for analysis, or do you also incorporate into trades? I do not. I do not use it. I just have it on here because T added it, or it added me to that program a while ago. But I don't think I've really ever used it, though. Not a bad thing. I'll say it again, if you guys want to migrate, or if you are watching on Twitter right now and you want to migrate over to YouTube, the YouTube is linked on my bento in my Twitter bio. Silver is rocketing. There you go. That gold's pushing up pretty strong right now too. Gold's macro trend. I think the only thing you should be looking for is either consolidation periods like what we had right here, or better yet, all you do is look for a pullback to a psych level, look for a pullback to a 10-point level. Those ones are usually good psych levels on gold. Pullback, go long. And my bias for probably the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even longer, has been just longing gold. Nothing else. Because it's been working so incredibly well. Chart's still not updated. Trade rate is still down. It's probably... Sorry about the crackling, if you guys can hear that. I'm getting a little honey drop. Helps my voice. It's probably going to be no trade today, which I'm really not too upset about because I don't want FOMC days. Don't really like trading those in general, but I don't want to take a trade and then have trade evade say, yeah, we're going to wipe all losing trades, or we're going to just wipe the day in general. Long-time follower, appreciate your X post. Helps me keep the faith on red days. There you go. Thank you for the support. No, I did not, Tacky. It's still on there. Just take a scroll down through those videos. It should be posted just before all the London 50 ones. Yeah, I'm not trading on a live account. These are all sim accounts. Matter of fact, I think maybe 2% of traders have a live account. Missed my long open, damn things down. Yeah, is what it is. I would have looked to long gold, probably 1 micro. I mean, even with 1 micro on gold, though, that's still... I've been putting all my stops on gold at 5 points, so I'm risking about $50 per trade. Long, even right at the opening one, you would have been stopped by like 2 points. But this was a 40-point reward, which is pretty disgusting. 1 micro will do crazy work on gold, so everyone knows. We got Scott Besant talking. Be careful looking at gold. Couldn't trade it if I wanted to right now. Same here. Previous backtest session on FOMC has been no trades and or 1 loss on my system. Yeah, FOMC usually counters everything that I look at. And I'm assuming this being down is definitely due, or the price action being sideways is definitely due to trade bait being down. Not nearly as much volume coming in. Big down candle. Roger, I can just switch my chart and I don't see the down candle on gold though. All right, what we can do on this, you guys ready? We can go short 4 minis on GC, and I can almost guarantee you the next candle is going to be down. Yep. Once this updates on gold, 4 mini shorts. I bet it's going to drop 70 points, 80 points. Just wait for it to update. I'm telling you, I can see the future. This should honestly be a great lesson for a lot of you guys today as to not taking a trade. Because I bet a lot of you are probably sitting here itching to get into something. Is there a free trial on edgeful? Yes. The free trial is only available for the next 3 days, though. 2 days. 3 days. The free trial is only available for the next 3 days. So if you guys want to try edgeful for free, you have to sign up within the next 3 days. They end the free trial period February. After February, you will no longer get a trial if you want to try edgeful. So for the next 3 days, you get a 7-day free trial if you sign up. After, they are no longer offering that. So if you want to try edgeful, you have to pay. NinjaTrader down 2 with chart printing. NinjaTrader and Tradeovate are the same platform. They're owned by the same company and they're the same platform. They're just different web browsers. That's about it. Where's the free trial link for edgeful? I will I'll post mine. It's on my bento on X. But you do have to sign up if you want to get it. So you have to put in like your credit card and everything. But after you it's like any other free trial. If you don't like it, you can cancel and you don't get charged anything. But they are getting rid of it in February. Why my Lucid isn't working? It's down. A little drop on gold there. I haven't seen it yet. I'm getting ready to sell everything on gold. Just kidding. If I refresh the chart, the candle should. There you go. Told you guys the next candle is going to be down. Oh, now it is the only candle in my chart. I don't like all those orders down there. Huh. Yeah, see? Told you guys it was going to drop 80 points. Should have shorted 4 minis right there. 60-point flusher. The dumper. What got me into trading? You guys ready for this? This is a pretty fun one. Pretty funny one. Does anyone know the game RuneScape? Specifically old school RuneScape. The grand exchange and trading other players on RuneScape is what got me into trading. Made me enjoy the buying and selling market. That's what got me into trading. Funny enough. New IB low formed on Qs. Not that we can do anything about it, but if you guys are on Project X, this would be a recessed and then short opportunity. How long have I been trading? 6 years. 6.5. I started right when I was 18. I'm 26 now. I wouldn't really include the 2 years before that, but is there a code to use at checkout? I think there should be. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know exactly how to walk through the free trial, but there should be an option to take the free trial. Are you trading on Product X, Pickus? That's about the only way you're going to be able to take this trade. Yeah, I would look for. I mean, this one's not really all that valid that it goes and takes the low, given that it's FOMC. But I would look for it to retest at least up to London low. Like right now would be a decent entry for expecting price to get a little bit lower. It's a very small range. I believe it's because trade evade's down. So here, that guy Zezima. I am not Zezima, no. Do you remember that name? Used to watch him play him. So there's that retest to London low, just about IB 50 now. 14 minutes left on it. We're unfortunately not going to be able to trade anything today. Price is still not updating. It's stuck at 26,245, and this chart's just not even. Price isn't even printing on this one. We're going into Morse code. If you guys feel like you missed out today, this would be the ideal entry right here. Finally hit IB 50. Every time that I've tried taking this on an FOMC day, I will say that I've usually lost. If you guys feel like you missed out today, you're sad because you missed an opportunity or missed a trade or feel like you missed a lot of money, hindsight is always a bitch. So we can always go back and look with perfect clarity as to what price did, and we can say, oh, I probably would have entered there. I probably would have entered there. Gold just dropped 80 points. I probably would have entered shorts at 487. I would have sold. So I just missed $800 per micro. Fortunately, that's not how trading works. You have no idea what you would have done. Perfect retest at IB 50. Would have been an ideal short. Qs is actually, for the first time all week, looking better than SPY for the IB trade. Hope they fix issues after I go to work. I will force trades. The trial does not include the algo trader, Maggie, no. The algo trader is a separate entity on there. It's not included. Can you please post a YouTube video on how you trade gold, ES, and NQ? Have not been good for the IB recently. They've been working really well for the IB. We had 2 wins so far this week. Yesterday we took longs on stream. Had 2 wins on that. 140 on 116 on SPY, 150 on Qs. And then we had another really nice one on Monday. But I did. Thank you, Tradeovate. See, look at that. Someone actually got saved from the orb algo today. So you guys are, everyone's upset that trade debate's down because you feel like you're missing trades, but you may also be missing some losing opportunities. So trade debate may be helping you with the fact that it's down. I think the market hates us at this rate. What's it doing? Oh, we hit 165 today on MSTR and came all the way back down, of course. Tacky, I did just have a YouTube video out on how I trade trends. TradeBait is not working on TradingView. It's a global outage. Even if you guys have TradeBait connected to TradingView, it's not working. You can see price moving, but your orders are not going through on TradeBait, I promise. They are down. Stinks. I'm gonna make a tweet about this for today. Take this as there we go. After how many years of taking trading seriously did you become profitable? I would say in total, I've been trading for, it's been right since I was 18. So it's 8 years, but I don't include those first 2 years as really trading. Those first 2 years, I was kind of just messing around. I would say probably 3 years. So I've been profitable for the past 3.5 years. Profitable enough to, I bought my house with trading profits, bought my truck, enough to really just live. And that's all with trading. So it's been about 3.5 years I've been profitable. I would say the first 3 years was tough. The first 3 years I was consistently losing money. The turnaround, the thing that got me profitable was always being sized down. In essence, that's what made me profitable. It's not anything to do with the trading strategy that I used, because I've gone through many of trading strategies. Not anything to do with the emotional side of it. Everything all boiled down to sizing down, which is why I post that everywhere. And always when I'm live trading, you guys will never see me using minis on live. You will never see me using even more than like 4 MNQ on live. I think, and this is because we were on an eval, I went in with 3 MNQ yesterday. That's probably the largest position I've done on live for the past 6 months. And I don't think I've traded a mini on any accounts in well over a year. Well, scratch that. No, when we, like June of last year, when I first started to get into, it already had its rejection at the IB, but yes, this would be another good entry R2. It should go to the IB low right now, which is kind of sad because this is a perfect example of what we'd be looking for today. I can't see how many points it is. Maybe if we go over to MGs or MNQ on this chart. So from IB 50 to the IB low, it's only 50 points. So one of the smaller ranges we've had. Still a really good example of what you'd be looking for the IB. And stop loss would be 50 points to the IB high, take profit 50 points to the IB low. I probably would have taken this one today had it not been down. Were my target size down? Actually, no. So another thing that has, I tell this to everyone as well, another thing that has drastically improved my trading, this is even over the past 6 months. Looks like there's a technical issue with TradeAvate integration. Yeah, I told you, even it's price is moving on TradingView, but TradeAvate will not place your orders right now. We're getting a perfect break of the IB. Sizing, emotional trades, all that stuff also comes down to how many trades and how frequent you're in the market. The more you're in the market, the longer you're in the market, the more likely you are to lose. Unfortunately, it's not the other way around, where the longer you're in the market, the more likely you are to win. That is only the case if you guys are trading SPY shares or QQQ shares. So, and if Steve's in here, this will just hammer it home even more for him. If I'm trading on gold, great example from last night. Let's say I entered a long on gold at 50.90. And for whatever reason, I got out of that trade at 50.96. Even though my validation on the trade was much higher, I'm still guilty of this too. But I'm slowly getting better at holding the trades. If my validation is price going to 51.43 and I secure it at 50.96, not only did I just miss this entire move up, but I am now in a terrible mental state, because I am, instead of saying, hey, I just made $60 on one micro times 20 accounts, so I made $1,200. Instead of thinking like that, I go into the next trade, or I look at the chart and I say, screw me, I just missed a $400 trade times 20 accounts. I just missed $8,000. And I sold for whatever reason. And then you get greedy and you start taking another trade after that. And then you start taking another trade after that. So now you're more exposed to the market. And at the same note, let's say you keep trying to long, you end up catching this 445 to 7 o'clock lull, where it goes from 51.90 down to 51.50. So instead of being content with the $60 that you made, even though you secured early for whatever reason, now you're finding yourself in more trades because you got a little tilted. You're mad that you lost out on profit that you could have made. you end up taking probably a $400, $500 loss. Funny enough, R2, this moving average, I do not use at all. This is the one that comes with Tradeovate. If you go onto the Tradeovate platform, I'm a little superstitious that this is giving me good luck, so that's the only reason I left it on the chart. I do not use it whatsoever. It's just there for superstition. That's quite literally it. Also, just made a new IB low, so if you guys were in that trade, you just had your full TP just about hit. Even then, 50 seconds left on this trade. IB lows at 634.37, so another 40 cents to full TP. So to answer your question, a trade guy, my profit targets have actually increased. So the more that I size down, superstition indicator, that is exactly right. Since I've sized down, my profit targets have increased. So for the IB trade, instead of going in with one mini and targeting like a 10-point move in one direction or the other, I go in with one micro and target a 50-point move. So I'm still going to make less than the one mini moving 10 points, but I have no stress associated with the trade. And worst case, I'm going to end up losing $100. Best case, I end up making $100, but the profit really comes from scaling over multiple accounts as opposed to only trading one account with one micro, because that's obviously not going to do very much for you. It is a superstition indicator. I use it for absolutely nothing other than the fact that it is there, and I feel like it's giving me good luck, so I'm leaving it there. That is the only reason. Another rejection at London low, so it should give a little more validation to go and target that 620, 634 level. We also haven't taken out that previous day in London gap yet. We missed it by about 10 cents, 7 cents. So that should be another drawdown. Well, as soon as I go and change the stream title to live trading 2500 accounts, this is the dilemma that we're offered today. It's a non-working platform. Nothing is going to slow this gold move. Do not try and step in front of this train. Let me know if you hit full TP, Pickus. Should be anytime now. If not, you should still be up like 40 points. Perfect representation of the IB today. I can say I definitely would have taken this one. Who knows if we would have, but this was you can have asked for a better 50% hit right there. It hit 50% to the cent. That would have been our entry. Even though it's only a $1 drop, a little over $1. It's like 52 points is the IB range today. Should be able to still draw this in. Let's see. So that's our IB. A little bit of slippage because Tradeovate is down. Chart's at least moving again, but that was 26,255, and target would have been 26,206. So 49 points on the IB break today. And it actually just got taken. There's your full TP for anyone that was available on Project X to take that. Perfect representation. Hit. Would have been $100 day. It would have put me at probably. I had 15 MNQ, so that would have been a $300 play for Tradify, and then $100 on Apex. That's okay. It validated the strategy. Tradify is not working. Negative. Took 180 playing safe today. There you go, Pickus. Good first day back, I'd say. Yeah, I want my money back for today. No, in all honesty, it probably saved us from a loss. Could have taken longs over London 50 or whatever it might have been. Probably saved us from a loss today. But that was a beautiful, beautiful show of the IB trade. Could not have been better with the rejection. Do you chart on QQQ but trade an XQ and an MNQ? Yes. MNQ has slippage. I did just close Tradevate because it's not working. I'll pull the screen up. See the top. Currently, we're looking at market data interruption with simulated environment. We're currently working on. We are actively working on it. I'll provide an update soon. Nothing for us to do. We do have another 25 minutes on stream if you guys have any questions. Educational day. Now that we hit, I'm going to anticipate probably the same thing that we did yesterday with that previous day in London gap. Now that we've hit that level, we should have a draw back to the upside. I will say that FOMC for the IB trade, FOMC invalidates the chance of a double break. So even though on any given day we only have a 20% chance of having a double break of the IB, today that is completely out the window because it's a high impact news event. No question, but I need to stay away from minis and silver micros to survive this. That's what I've been saying for the longest time. Seriously, you guys, I mean, it's a free tool, so there's no selling you anything here, but this risk calculator it has helped me assess how much I want to risk per trade when I have drawdown available on the accounts anyway. So we usually have about 1,500 in drawdown. I like to risk, I've been liking to risk 80 to about 120 per trade. And we're well over a 60% win rate even. I think we're over a 70% win rate. With those trades, it is a 0% chance of us hitting 18 losing trades in a row, which is what it would take to blow your account, as long as you maintain the same size. Do you explain your IB strategy anywhere? I've been using it for the past few months, been foreseeing you, but I only use the high and low, not the 50%. Yeah, I have it on YouTube. Is that Apex? We're aware of the current data issues involving TradeBait. We'll be reviewing affected accounts and making any necessary adjustments after the market close. Only accounts that had open positions during the outage timeframe will qualify for adjustments. If your account was negatively affected, please do not trade until after the markets open tonight. That is from Apex. So that's their fix to it. Thank God they're not wiping my profit for today. Phew. I would have been a little upset about that. So Lucid, Lucid usually only wipes the losing trades on the day. These ones I just took my payout last night. Hit in maybe 2 minutes total from payout request to in my bank account, which was awesome. And I need to make another 600. So 2 more $300 days or 4 more $50 days to qualify in general, but need to hit another 600 to get another 5K payout with them. And then I'm going for the 30K. I'm going to stop thinking so much about it. And I'm going for the 30K payout on Apex. I'll be making another 1,000 per account. So if I'm really good about it, 2 days. I'm a testament to over-risking. I've blown 25K accounts due to not handling a red day, trading over 1 mini, and taking 3 losses in a row with a 10-point stop is hard mentality. 10 points on NQ is not enough for you to do anything. 20 points, still not enough for you to do anything. 40 points is what I found my comfort zone with for the Asia trades. 40 points with 1 micro, or I do 20 points with 2 micros during Asia, and even that's pushing it a little bit. 10 points. Almost every single candle that MNQ has ever formed. Well, I can't say ever formed because it used to trade at $100 a share, but for the past year, almost every single candle that MNQ has formed, regardless of what session, has at least made a 10-point range. So that is, I mean, any of the candles you want to look at pre-market, even the tiniest one, this one was 308 up to 319 from wick to wick. That's 10 points. This little tiny candle right here at 6:30 this morning, that's 10 points. So that means all these other candles are probably 15, 20, 25. 10 points for a stop loss is not enough for you to do anything. How would you find dealing with intraday trailing drawdown? I didn't really worry about it with these accounts, the Apex ones, because what I want to show you here, Lucid, these are the accounts that I'm most comfortable with trading. They have end-of-day trailing drawdown, but you only have 1,000 in drawdown on these. So the way that I view it on Apex is that I can mess up by $500 and still be trading essentially the same account as I would with Lucid. The trailing intraday drawdown is, I think it's only bad for people that A, you're trading oversized, and B, you're greedy about positioning. So if you get greedy about taking profit and you always are saying, I want more, I want more, I want more, I want more, the trailing intraday drawdown is not going to be good for you. If you are greedy about profit, then you want end-of-day trailing drawdown so you don't get hit by a wick to the upside, and then it comes all the way back down and sweeps you out at your stop loss or break even. When you found your rinse and repeat strategy, did it take you a few months to fine-tune it, then properly slowly creep in? Honestly, it was an overnight thing, day trade. It was an overnight thing. So it wasn't like I slowly became profitable. It was quite literally like a switch went off, and then I was wildly profitable as compared to what I used to be. These are not Lucid Directs. No, these ones are the Lucid Pros, Lucid 25K Pros. I don't think that you should ever go and get a direct funded account. Those are just a money grab. For most firms, the direct accounts are 3 times as much as the like standard eval or pro account. And they're just taking more money from you because you're not patient enough to go through the eval phase. That's why I do not get instant funded accounts. I used to get instant funded accounts because I thought that, okay, I just blew all my accounts. I don't want to go through the eval phase, so I'm going to invest in the instant fundeds. And then I did the same thing, treated the instant fundeds with no respect and blew through those. So I would end up paying more money for literally no reason. Instant fundeds are not the answer if you're struggling to pass funded accounts or fund eval accounts. So 40-point stops mean you're trading 1 micro. Yeah. Red. Red. How much is 1 point worth on SIL? 1 point on SIL. $1 or 1 point? $1, which is what I would say 1 point is 5,000 on silver. So it's $500 on 1 micro silver contract. Every 20-cent move on silver is $1,000. Other traders say, why waste your time in the evaluation phase when you're a profitable trader, which I also don't agree with, as you're spending more money. Exactly. If you don't find yourself trapped in wall dive, I think you get a little caught up in this as well. Everyone does. It's not just you. Sorry to single you out. Everyone gets caught in the position of being on social media and seeing people say, don't waste your time in an eval because you're spending money for no reason. Those people have money to spend. So the people that are telling you to be careful about your time in evaluation discounts, they're actual traders. The people that are just telling you to rush through the eval so you can get to the funded, they're most likely profiting on your eval fees, commissions off of affiliate codes, or just profiting off of you being in their channel. Did you take a trade yet today? No. Unfortunately, none of us probably did, unless you guys are on Project X. Let's see what the screener is saying for today. 50% bearish, definitely bearish on there. Sorry, it's been a pretty boring stream today, everyone. Not really anything we could have done about that. We did have, at the very least, we had a perfect representation of the IB. IB remains goated. I hope Market Robber's in here. Any other questions from anyone that's tuning in? We have another 12 minutes to just chit chat. No trades to be made because we can't trade if we wanted to. You can see that they're really struggling to get it up and running right now, though, because it's still powering through being down. And price is at least updating, but the chart's updating, but the price is not. Price is still showing 26,245. And our midnight open, we just swept all the way down to, looks like 26,100. Apex said not to trade until market open tonight. That is what we will do then. Risk on eval stage for me, I typically risk, that's what we've been trading live, the Tradify evals. I typically risk 300 to 400 on those trades. So it's about 3 to 4x what we would do, or 2 to 4x what we would do on the funded account. Which, at 2xing what you would risk is still a lot. What I tell everyone is, if you are struggling to get payouts, go to a prop firm like Lucid that does not have monthly fees. So Lucid, you can go and get a singular 25K eval, Pro, Flex, whatever you want, Black, whatever you want to get. And it's a one-time payment on all of them. Which accounts are good for Lucid payouts? I like the 25K Pros. Those have been my bread and butter. 25K accounts, I would stick with 150 for a max risk. IB is a very simple strategy, so I wonder why it's working. As a lot of retail traders would have been using it. When a lot of people use it, ideally it should not work, but I'm amazed that it's working. Not really that many people use it, but it has been, I think Andre told me this. Thank you, FX. Just bought 5 of those with your code. You stud. I think the IB has been around since like 1960, 1970. So really every trading strategy comes down to the same thing. There are adaptations, and people, the only reason that they call it new things is because that's a marketing strategy. So like a silver bullet or a unicorn model, those are the same things as trading the IB. Turtle soup, those are all just sweeps of, all of it comes back to the IB. A lot of it does. The IB time frame being 9:30 to 10:30, same exact time frame as silver bullet or ICT's unicorn model, whatever it might be. And it's also Peter Brandt, I think his name is, Wall Street Einstein. He said it countless times. There is no way that people on the floor or algos can see what what retail traders are doing. So there's no such thing as stop hunts. They're all trading pretty much the same strategies that we are. They have much more advanced strategies and much more advanced stop losses and take profits and systems that make them more money. But even the best of the best, those guys do like 30%, 40% a year. On the same note, you got to remember that 97% of futures traders are all using sim accounts, which sim accounts have absolutely no impact on what the market quotes are doing. There's quite literally nothing that happens to market quotes based on sim accounts going in and out of the market. Unless you're moving 200 plus NQ contracts per order. Shut up, Bob. I might be. You don't know. You don't know that? You don't have to slap and you're not. Make me feel poor like that. Best way to risk micro dollars versus points? I would say it's not really a defined risk on it. I like doing 40 points or $40 for one micro. So 20 points and then scaling up. You just have the same stop loss. Everything's the same scaling. I've blown a couple about 100 to 200 away from a payout. I cannot tell you guys how many payouts I've blown. I have been qualified for probably 6 different payouts, and I got greedy and ended up blowing the payout. And there have been many occasions, where I have been 300 away. 300 is my kryptonite. That number, $300 away from qualifying for a payout, I have blown, I can't even tell you how many payouts. Something about that number doesn't work. Is Ninja Trader back working? They are not. They're still down. Ninja Trader and Tradeovate are still down. What a boring day. Good educational day. Very good educational day. A pretty boring day overall. Are you trading the static account with Apex? No, these are the trailing drawdown ones. This is on Lucid. I have the trailing intraday drawdown, which I finally got back up to where my little screw up was. So right back to where he was. We back up and running? We are not. Price is still frozen. So I have all 20 of these still. Most of them are about 100 away from that payout. Mine's 100 because that's my average win. Yeah, I cannot fathom why $300 always screws me over. Up 343 on my Lucy evals today. How are you trading on them? You animal. It's trading a market that's not open to the rest of us. Tell me how. Your mic's on, Pickus, just so you know. I want to go long 15 silver contracts too. Just open. Let me do it. Traded before the outage. Asia trades have been Asia trades top tier recently. New York trades have been awful, aside from the past three days. Shorts today, beautiful, perfect example of the IB. Longs yesterday, perfect example of the IB. Longs on Monday, perfect. Last week was rough, but even then, the Asia trades, the moves that we're having overnight have been incredible. They've been awesome. Tradeovate still down? Sure is, Freedom Trader. Sure is. Sure is. To add to what you just said about the 200 NQ contracts per order, not sure if anyone knows this or how many people know this. When you go and place an order on Webull, Robinhood, Tradeovate, TradingView, whatever broker you're using, that order it's not showing that, okay, Johnny over here just went and bought 1,000 shares at this price. When you put your buy order in, let's say you're buying 1,000 shares or 1,000 contracts of NQ, even when you put that order in, it goes to all 13 of the brokers that are in the US. So your 1,000 contracts, and that's because it's I think it's the fair trade law that they added in, or fair trade agreement, not fair trade for clothing brands and all that sweatshop stuff, but fair trade for making sure that the consumer or the trader, which is you, is getting the best fill. Your split between your $1,000 order, 1,000 contract order is split between all 13 brokers. So you will never ever see 1,000 order come through. What you will see is, and I'll actually get the list of US brokers and their codes. You'll see several orders come through, and they'll look like, if anyone has Webull open right now, you can do this. It'll say like, there we go. This is what I was looking for. It'll say New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. It will say CME, or CEC. I'll just open my Webull so I can get all the examples myself. Let's go to Coinbase, for example. So if you click on the bid ask, it will say CEC, which I'm assuming is Chicago. You have one in Miami. There's one in New York. There's one in San Francisco. There's one in California. There's one in Philadelphia Stock Exchange. There's 13 scattered throughout the US, so your order gets spread out through all of those. That's why the order book, I don't think, is all that reliable. You're just seeing all the orders that are getting placed for the best bids. You're not seeing how big of an order is getting placed for that specific level. Forex, I would say the educational aspect of it. And I'm live a lot more. Thanks for chatting. I've enjoyed the X content. I just got to size the F down. That's the answer for a lot of people. Sizing the F down. What's going on, Jay? How you doing? I'm live on Monday and Friday, Forex, and then also, or for example, sorry, not Forex. And then also we just have the educational content. All right, guys, that will do it for the stream today. Thank you for tuning in, even though we were unable to do anything. Hopefully that was a good bit of education that we threw out. Very pleased with how much would you risk per trade to pass a 50K eval with Lucid? There's no rush on it. So I don't know, probably 300, 250, 300. That's what I would do. There's no rush on them because they're all one-time payments, so there's no reason for you to worry about how much you're risking either way. Did you aim for 2R or just whatever the market gives you? That's what I go for. All right, guys, that will do it for the stream today. Tune out for tomorrow. Tune in for tomorrow. What am I saying? I'll answer a few more questions coming through. Sorry. Do you post the Asia trades? I do. Yes. I know 25K you trade 25K accounts. I trade 1 to 2 MNQ. 50K accounts is like 3 or 4 for most of the trades. All right, see you guys later. I will be live again tomorrow. Same time, 9 to 11. If you guys enjoyed the stream, drop a thumbs up. Drop me a follow. See you tomorrow.